Setting up the meeting for YouTube Live.
Sweet. We can have a wonderful conversation, just the two of us.
It's true.
The viewers on YouTube.
Yes. I don't think there's any viewers.
I probably shouldn't wear one of my competitors' hoodies today, should I?
Who's your competitor? Oh, I didn't even.
I mean, technically they're in the same space. I don't know if they're actually competitors. They're nice people.
Yeah. There. I didn't tweet. So how are your holidays?
Bad. But
Oh no. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I have been sick since the 17th, so.
Oh yeah, it's no fun.
Yeah. But I started on major antibiotics on Monday, so.
Antibiotics can be good.
Yeah. But I will say I am in no way capable, or should I be making any big life decisions today, because they are kicking my ass.
I have to put the correct number and a type of emoji in. Right?
Yeah. How was your holiday?
I mean, I was off for 2 weeks, effectively. So there's that. We're not really into Christmas. Like New Year's Eve and New Year's is more the thing that my wife and I both enjoy, but we also are not going to parties because COVID is a thing that is apparently happening still.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So my wife has a standing tradition where a friend of hers comes over, and then we wear PJs and watch movies and eat Chinese food on Christmas Day. Oh, that's a cute kitty.
It's Freya has her catnip. That's a catnip infused tube thing. So
yeah, that is a thing I have seen cats do. Our kitty is not into catnip, but she's also 21.
She's 14 or 15, and
Let's
suddenly
get there.
She's very into it, as
Yeah.
you can tell.
Appears to be the case.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't leave the house either because
COVID.
Yeah.
And Seattle got some snowy weather, right?
We did. It was quite nice for us not leaving the house because of COVID.
And not having to deal with being out in the snow.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
in a city that doesn't get a lot of it, so they're not real prepared for such shenanigans.
Yeah, that is extremely true. Yeah. I know some of my coworkers and friends had to sort of be around and drive, and thankfully all of them stayed safe, but I did actually have to leave to go to a doctor's appointment yesterday, and I bundled up and double masked and took a lift, and I was talking to the driver, and he was saying how like he got stuck like 30 miles out of town because he was taking some folks out to their whatever their destination was from Seattle, and it had just started snowing when that happened, and by the time he got there it was like coming down, and so it took him like 3 hours to get back, which should be a maybe 35-40 minute drive. But he was like, yeah, I just didn't work the next 2 days. And I was like, yeah, that sucks, for that whole gig economy driving situation. It's like, that's really rough.
Yeah.
It's 2 days pay.
Right. Yeah. Well, and here, so we had the fire in the area I think that was last Thursday. And then Friday it snowed. Like we had, I don't know, a stack of snow, several inches on the railing on our deck. So that, like, not all the snow stays. So it was probably close to a foot of snow that we got. And then I had to shovel my driveway, which is, like a thing you just have to do when you have a driveway.
Yeah. Do they have that same law? Well, you have an HOA, but like, do they have that same law in Colorado where you are not legal, you don't own, but you are responsible for the piece of sidewalk in front of your house?
Yes. Most people will shovel the sidewalk just out of courtesy. There's a lot of people that walk in the neighborhood. Like, we're in a single family home subdivision. So it's lots of people with dogs. And so there's lots of dog walking folks. Plus we're also a 6-minute walk from the grocery store and shopping center over there. So there's actually quite a few people that walk to the grocery store. Because the way that is set up on the corner, we're on the southwest corner of a major intersection, and that area is all real goofy to get in and out of because you're not supposed to make a left turn back onto the street that goes into the neighborhood. So you have to go out and around through this big loop. So it takes just as much time to walk as it does to drive to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we have a grocery store just also about 10-minute walk away. So that is also a thing that we do. Apologies, I'm looking at my phone for the confirming my COVID test today. So just pull that out because there is a small chance that is a thing, but it is unlikely. So probably more of a combination of lung and ear infection.
Oh, it's gross.
When I get it good.
Oh yeah.
But
don't mess around.
I'd still rather have it than COVID. So like,
yes, totally. Yeah. It's no fun. Yeah. So yeah, we shoveled the.
Supposed to be like happy, like
like happy stuff. So yeah, we did get snow. It was the people say it's the first snow of the year. We got snow back in like March. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
The first snow of the season.
Yeah.
But it's very welcome because the fires they spread so quickly and fast because like hurricane winds, and B, it's been very, very dry and warm this season. So it's good to get the snow and all that.
I was talking to a couple of coworkers and also former acquaintances, or not former acquaintances, mutual acquaintances of you and I, who live in the like area, and one family that we know, that she was their house is like less than a mile, I want to say, from where it was, and she was like, we were looking out the window directly at it, and thankfully the wind was going the other direction. So but she was saying how like it just was just swath of destruction going. Another friend who was in a completely different like town area was like, it got like dark at like noon because of
I was sitting, so I have this office has a very large window there that faces south, but all I see is my neighbor's house because subdivision. But I have a chair there, and I was sitting in my chair, and I was like, "Why is the sky blackish red?
Orange?
That is real weird." I had no idea. Like I was just what was I doing? That was Thursday last week, so I wasn't back to work yet. So I think I was just watching Netflix or something in the chair, and yeah, it was very surreal. And then and I was also avoiding like social media stuff and that kind of thing because holidays and
And there's been a lot of social media happening in the last 3 weeks, so
yeah.
it's probably
Well,
better to
and
not be there.
yeah, and I think you had messaged me on Slack, and I saw it on my phone because I didn't have it on that open on that laptop. So I was like, oh, that is news to me. Yeah, we're fine.
It was like, are you all's okay over there? And you're like,
Yep.
yes. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, fine. Sorry for asking. Jeez.
Yeah, totally.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
it sounds like from the couple of folks that I talked to, like the at least like the direct community around there like really stepped up, which is a positive thing, and like people opening up their houses for other folks, and people really having a positive
one of
the
the
best outcome of a bad situation.
Right. Yes. One of the managers of one of the game stores I play Magic at, actually that I was at last night. He was in an affected area. They had to evac, and in the middle of evacuating, they had to U-turn because the fire was on the street that they were driving down. They had to take a different way out. But fortunately, it did not affect any of their community. It was like they could see the fire like 100 yards away, and it was basically moving across like this field or something like that near their place. So
that's wild.
Yeah, it was surreal. But his whole family, all their pets are all safe. The main thing is that their house is full of smoke, right? Because that was unavoidable.
And that can really mess up your house. Smoke damage is no joke at all.
Yeah. So, but he's been cleaning, and they've got like all of the duct cleaning companies are all working double shift overtime stuff. There's a few of them here. So
I'm sure.
Yeah. But yeah, he was relatively unaffected. Other than that, the other friends that I have that were in the affected area were likewise on the opposite direction of where the wind was blowing. So it moved away from them.
All positive news.
Yeah. So speaking of positive news, what are you working on in the new year that's jazzy and cool?
Oh boy, if only I could actually tell you the things that I'm working on. I can tell you, what can I tell you? What can I tell the world?
You work adjacent to a certain product line?
I do. I work adjacent to a couple of popular secrets management and I guess you could say infrastructure automation tools. And yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff happening in that space, just in general.
Yeah.
Not just where I'm at, but also in a number of other companies that we have some mutual acquaintances at, which is really cool, to be honest, because I personally just like seeing people build cool stuff, and if they build cool stuff with me, that's even better. And if obviously I would like us to be profitable. Duh,
right. Yeah.
Money.
Yes.
But it's good to see others
capitalism.
Making their bag, as they say. I think is that what they say?
Yes. I don't know what the kids. Something about galaxy brains is what the kids say.
Ooh, yeah. I made a meme the other day that was like it was so like niche that like I think two people, like one person liked it on Twitter because it was me and like, they're my friend, and another person like actually got it. And it was a the brain, the 3-panel brain explodey brain one. Yeah, it was an elaborate troll of built like the command that you run in GCC to build a library, or like to just compile a library, and then the next one was the GCC command to compile a library, or rather compile some code with position fixed position symbols, right? And then what you have to do in order to make something a shareable library, so that no matter where you're running it, it's always like going to hit the right symbols when you go into the library code. And then the third one was like the mind explode one, was like building a library without doing that. So you basically have a random dynamically linked library where you have no idea what code's going to happen.
I see the tweet.
These are the kind of things that I get myself up to when I have a really, when my brain's all, like I said,
fuzzy with antibiotics.
I shouldn't be making really big life decisions right now.
Right. Yeah.
But overall, it's positive. Yeah. No, the stuff that I'm working on is really cool. It's probably not going to see, I don't know when or if it's going to see the light of day, because it's a lot of internal tooling and stuff like that. But it's it fills a need that for automation that like we use internally, and like might be useful for folks in the world someday. But there's not really a place for it right now, and it's still, we've only been working on it for about a year, so it's still sort of, which should tell you how ambitious it is.
Well, I know how those supplemental engineering ancillary service type things work, having been in a engineering services team before. Build and release automation stuff like is important code, and it requires a lot of really gnarly thinking and building and coordination.
Well, and the beautiful part is, well, not beautiful, it's just the wonderful, interesting part, I guess, is that I'm not part of that team. Like we have our own like release engineering services, and they're awesome. Like our
but I mean, like
adjacent, and so like working with them is really cool.
Yeah,
very, very, very cool stuff.
We have a friend joining us, it appears.
And interestingly named.
Oh my goodness, Ryan Hass.
Ryan, I know that. I know
that name.
I
recognize that. I recognize that friend.
From I don't know if long ago.
I don't know if the stream shows the profile picture. I think it only shows video.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, look at that.
How's it going, Ryan?
How's it going?
Oh my God, Scott.
Yeah.
Long time no see, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah. Good times.
I didn't recognize you with that. Well, the hair.
The hair and the beard, and
yeah, it's a relatively new development.
Well, hello.
Pandemic, Oh, good to see it. Good to see that the I forgot that one's name.
Max,
that's right. Yeah. Awesome.
My cat is not a lap cat. Also, I would be itchy for hours if she got on my lap because I'm allergic. When I met my wife, she had 3 cats. They were, I think, at the time 16, 15, something like that. And 2 have since passed away, but the last one is hanging on, and she's 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
she
yeah.
she's like a toddler. She uses her cat box and then she screams and then she eats. So, the three things that toddlers do, I mean, not using a cat box, but the function
Yeah,
thereof.
they try. They try.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, this one's about 15, so he's getting up there, but he's still pretty active. So
Nice.
he's getting a lot more sleepy these days, though. He likes to just lounge around a little more.
Yeah. Our cat wanders around the house and meows really loud. And then lays on the couch in the other room on this big fuzzy purple blanket that we have.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Freya's still around, and she gets annoyed when her bed is not made. And by that, she basically will wait and like yell and stuff until the bed is made, and then there's a towel like set up for her, right on, half on the pillow and half not, so she can go and lie there and have her naps.
Yes.
But yeah, that's like she'll yell and scream until that specific like scenario is put together.
Yeah, she has you trained.
Exactly. Yeah.
Golly. So Ryan, where are you at now?
I'm at Elastic.
Elastic.
Yeah.
Doing the elastical searches.
Elastical searches. Yep. I'm working on basically the same kind of function as I was doing build and release type work.
Cool.
But it's on the cloud side of things. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's fun.
Right on.
Focusing more on the delivery side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's actually our team is delivery, but it's we're transitioning into what we're calling developer productivity, right? So,
indeed, we have one of those we have multiple developer experience and developer productivity and similar, which
I interviewed
most
somewhere
of them
that
work well.
when I was looking for a position this summer, I interviewed at somewhere that had a developer enablement team. It was an internal tools type stuff, internal ops kind of work.
So yeah, we're embarking on the journey to kind of make it more of our platform more of a platform for the different products and stuff, and do actual DevOps.
Doing the DevOps.
Yep.
Excellent.
But didn't you know we have Kubernetes now, so we don't need to do the DevOps?
Well, you might, but we're not there yet, actually.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to see how that has evolved over time, and like especially with a lot of the people that I know that I am acquaintances or friends with who work in that space, just seeing like where the line between the traditional like DevOps and infrastructure as code kind of stuff like not ends, but like sort of transitions into the like full ephemeral Kubernetes orchestration, which still has there's blending here and there, but it's really interesting to see that kind of interesting shift, especially with the hey, maybe we should go back to golden images, like just the cyclical nature of everything is it's very entertaining. And like my team doesn't use Kubernetes right now as well, so it's like people who I hire, I'm like, yeah, if that's the thing you want to like be heavily invested in, like we're not going to be the right place for you, sorry. But, I mean,
right.
I'm very transparent about that. Like, don't want to get your hopes up.
Yeah, I don't even know what I think we run in AWS, and I know what languages our backend and all that is written in. but that's about as much as I know about our infrastructure. But we also are at like 20 people, and half of them are in engineering. So, it's startup Landia.
Where are you at now?
I'm at Alma
Oh, okay.
with two L's. So I'm head of community and advocacy here. So they pay me to talk to people on the internet. It's pretty cool.
That's actually a good fit because you are actually really good at, at getting people riled up and stuff. I've been to
Thank
many
you.
of your talks, so
Yeah, thank you. I actually I did a lightning talk version of my incident management presentation. So when I was at Chef, I wrote the incident response process policy and all that, and then turn that into a like a 2-hour brown bag lunch presentation kind of thing. And then I consolidated that down into a 15-minute talk that I did a month ago. DevSecCon Lightning by I think Snyk does, or Sneak, SNYK does
yeah,
that.
we use them for our container inspection.
Yeah,
I like them.
I haven't used any tools other than Zoom and YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah, I'm
And all
wondering
the
how does that work in today's like strange era of COVID, right? Like,
yeah, like, well, so this is Zoom, right? And then
yeah,
Zoom has stream to YouTube.
which I
Like you
saw.
just,
I
yeah,
didn't know that was a thing until just now.
yeah. I found out about it, a couple months ago when I started doing HangOps. And then
It
we also,
also,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, to interject real quick, it also has like stream to Discord, stream to Twitch. It has like all of these integrations that you can stream stuff
Yeah,
to.
there,
It's very
all
it's
kinds of
wild.
streaming things. And then we do also, Alma has a Twitch channel, and I stream on there where uh, you may recognize some of the people that have joined us there, like Scott and Mandy and Ben Rockwood and some other folks that worked at Chef at one point or another.
Yeah,
We've talked about a variety of topics. So those are, we're doing StreamYard for that. And StreamYard will stream out to Twitch and then give you a recording file, and you can upload the recording file over to YouTube.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's really cool, actually. I like it.
Yeah, StreamYard's great. It gives you a couple of UI options to be able to like display faces, and like when you have it streaming to Twitch, anybody that chats in Twitch, you can pin their post and it'll show up like as a subtitle thing, and then everybody can make a comment about the funny thing that Scott said or whatever. Usually something about compilers.
Docker.
Yes, or Docker. Yeah, always gets a laugh.
Every time.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. So Alma itself is currently is an incident management workflow tool that embeds into Slack, and then you do like a slash command to bring up a modal, and then you choose different aspects about an incident that's going on, and it will go ahead and like silence PagerDuty alerts and send updates to the status page, and create a incident channel that you can join and have everybody participate in that, and that kind of thing. It's pretty much everything that I always wanted to have in an incident management tool when I was at Chef, and just did not have the team or the cycles to build that kind of thing. So it's that, and then we're working on new workflows for doing other kinds of things that can be done in a collaborative way through Slack, such as coordinating releases or customer support escalation type work. Things that often look a lot like an incident but aren't a technical incident, but still require that coordination, and you have different things that people are doing and participating in. So yeah, the goal there is to start asking people, what do you do when you have to do a release, like what is your process? What's it look like? What do you have automated? What do you have to, what gates and phases do you have set up for your pipelines, or if you have to do a security release, like what does that look like? And then my favorite, and the thing that I want us to be able to have, is a thing that handles like contract signing for legal forms, because we had an app that at Chef that did all that, and it was kind of a Rube Goldberg machine, but it was still like, oh, this is like an actual gnarly workflow that people who are not technical have to do with all these tools that they're not used to. Like lawyers are just used to like, here's a stack of papers, sign them. Okay, now I'll go put them in a file folder, and then we'll deliver the whatever's on the statement of work. Now everything's digital, and nobody's in the same room because nobody's in the same city.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, and this is no slight to lawyers, because like it's not their core job function. We had some very technically adept lawyers at Chef, like were very very good at the tech side of things.
Yeah,
though,
like
I
one of
said,
them wrote a
that's
Rails
not
app that did all that stuff.
Not their job function, and no shade on any lawyers who don't want to be in that space. But yeah, it's still gross.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with all that nonsense. They want to do the legal jurisprudence and all that stuff.
I don't really want to read through the entire contracts of things when I'm like, here, lawyer person, please help.
Help. Yeah.
On a totally different topic. If you, well, hold on.
Uh-oh.
If anybody, if any of you or anybody in YouTube land, and I'm going to put this on Twitter, and this is a personal thing, not in no way endorsed or anything to do with the company that I work for. If anybody needs one of these Kraken X63 CPU water cooler device, this is the one that I put in my computer, but they sent me two when I bought one. So I have one that I legit want to like give away to somebody if they pay the shipping.
Yeah.
So, spread the word to your PC gamer peoples. I'm probably going to tweet something out about it. It's the NZXT Kraken X63.
NZXT?
Yeah, NZXT is the brand, Kraken X63, because there's an X73, I want to say too.
NZXT? All right.
NZXT. I'm going to put it in the Zoom chat for you here.
Yep.
Yeah. The caveat is that I believe it works out of the box for Intel processors, most types of new Intel processors. And if you have a AMD processor, you do have to buy like a $7 adapter thingy that doesn't come with it, which I was kind of annoyed about because it said it worked with, it was like AMD compatible, and it's like, yeah, it's AMD compatible. Also buy this $11 or $6 thing to put on there. I don't know. But it works great in my computer.
Nice. Works in my machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to put this in the HangOps Slack too.
Good call. Yeah, I hadn't even put it there. I was just going to Twitter it.
Yeah. I'll let you tweet about it as well at some point.
Yeah.
cool deal.
Yeah, I put something up about it like a couple of months ago and didn't really get any hits on it, but you know, maybe people were just not buying. Everybody was lined up to get a new graphics card at that point in time.
Yes, and now they've either gotten their new graphics card or not, and
Yeah,
maybe want to get one of those too. Yeah, I bought a pre-built custom computer from CyberPower last year. No, the year before last. When was it's been so long. Like a year and a half ago. And it's been fine. It has like a water cooler for the CPU and the GPU, but it still has like spinning fans for the internal case and that. So it's not nearly as loud as my old computer was.
yeah. We also bought one for my wife. I think almost exactly a year ago, from CyberPower, and just in the past couple of weeks or month or so, like either the graphics card or the monitor is going out. So I've been I swapped the monitor out, and it's still so she may be in the market for upgrading her graphics card, which will put her 2 steps ahead of my graphics card.
Yeah, mine, I got it with a 2080. Even though I knew NVIDIA was going to announce a new thing, I was like, my current gaming system does not run. It would not boot without taking out all but one memory stick, which I think I have on my desk. Yeah, here are the non-working memory sticks sitting here on the desk, which is a bummer because it's like these
I was gonna say,
Corsair.
are those Corsairs?
Yep, they sure are.
Pretty sure Corsair has a lifetime replacement policy on their memory.
This is like 5 years old.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
DDR2.
this is the old computer that I built like forever ago. Actually, 6 years old at this point. Yeah, these are, yeah, it's 32 gigs of memory here in my hand, and it will only boot with it'll boot with 2, but it like is unstable. Nice, ripping those jaws.
So any new cool things that are tools that are coming out or been kind of up on the uptick?
Mondu. Some of our chef friends have created Mondu, which looks really cool. It's a kind of like an inspec security scanning tool, is my understanding. I don't have infrastructure to scan, so I haven't really sat down to play with it yet. But yeah, there's a few folks from Chef that are over there. So that one looks pretty cool.
Pretty much everything that Oxide's been doing recently has been really cool, and they've started putting out some more like blogs and infos and things about it. It's very, very cool stuff, and they've been hiring some really cool, really very smart people.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not just not just the existing awesome smart people there. And near and dear to my heart, the CNCF, one of the CNCF projects that I think is sponsored by Equinix, is Tinkerbell, which is this like basically it's a pixie boot kind of thing, but with a at scale and some other cool stuff. So I was kind of poking around that in my free time.
Pixie boot.
Pixie boot. Remember back in the long ago?
Is that where you
are you trolling me now?
Is that where you use real computers instead of
virtual
ones?
Yeah.
Real computers are the new hotness, I mean,
right?
everybody's
Like I
talking about
said,
bare metal,
it all just
especially if you run containers.
everything's circular.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I have a friggin' indie on my desk. What do you expect from me?
I mean, my old gaming computer's sitting over there. It technically has Linux loaded on it, but you know, like I think I ran out of power plugs to plug it into something.
My old gaming computer is sitting right here
Yeah.
and it's running.
Why do you have Windows NT Workstation, Scott?
He likes malware.
Because it was fun.
Oh my God.
I streamed it. I had a couple of beverages and just streamed installing weird random old operating systems with a couple people, and it was a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Trying to actually run something like that on and figuring out how to get like something that only has SATA ports to like something with a floppy disk or a CD-ROM, and I like dredged up like 2 or 3 old CD-ROM drives and like burnt out 2 of them while I was doing this because they were so old that like they had
Oh
dust
my
in
gosh.
them and all this. Yeah, it was
Amazing.
it was a trip.
Yeah, that is amazing. Yeah, the my old gaming computer has 2 5.25-inch bays, but I never installed anything in there. It never had a CD-ROM. It only ever booted off of USB flash drives. And I do have a USB CD-ROM drive in my closet that I used. I used because TurboTax was only available on CD install for like up until, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago.
I remember these.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, I have one of those things. It has IDE, SATA, and like a different kind of SATA,
Yeah,
or a different kind of IDE. It's got like four things you can plug into it.
I've got one. I've got one of those over here too for the that's
Yes.
SATA laptop drive. but
That kind, yes. Yeah, the laptop ones. Good stuff. Yeah, other tools, man. I don't even know. I just haven't been paying attention. I guess Plumi is a thing that people are digging. I don't think they have the Ruby SDK yet, so I haven't really looked at it. I don't want to write Node or Go or Python, so.
Yeah, I kind of looked at that a little bit too. That actually looked pretty interesting. I was kind of trying to see if it's something we could actually dabble with, because we're rewriting some of our development environment tooling and well, basically all the environments tooling, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and so that was something I was looking at, but there's a lot of gravitation to stick with Terraform, but Terraform is sometimes cumbersome when you're dealing with, especially when you're dealing with 4 different cloud providers.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, it turns out that whole building a unified language around things so you can abstract away all the details, you still have to deal with the details.
Yeah, turns
Because
out
the
it
cloud
gets
providers have
really-
different names for everything.
Yeah, it gets really, really messy and really, really hairy too, because the way that the HCL code is structured is it's not exactly readable when you have to do some dynamic stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear that one thing that they did recently is there's a CDK for Terraform now. That's
interesting.
yeah, kind of an interesting thing that they've put together.
Are you still over at Hashi?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think the CDK supports multiple languages as well.
Okay,
So you don't have to do it in TypeScript or whatever.
I'll have to look at
I
that.
think it's
This
even a
might
Go
make-
one, but
Yeah, this is interesting. This might be helpful for what we're doing. Yeah, that's just is our tooling. We're trying to do it in Go because, you know, you could say everything's in Go, but there's still a strong appeal to having a single binary do things.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
and it's testable versus a makefile, which
Yeah.
But don't you have a makefile that builds your Go projects?
uh
You
We
know you
might.
will if you don't already.
might. We might.
I've seen Go projects before.
we do. We have one, but yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of our stuff is we're actually using Gradle for a lot of stuff, which has got its
Oh.
pros and cons. Pros being that, you know, it's got a lot, especially the enterprise does a lot of introspection, shows you a lot of information about stuff and does a lot of cool things, but it's also pretty heavy. So I mean, the learning curve is
yeah,
ridiculous.
it's not my favorite, but it's got its uses for sure. But yeah, that for an easy entry, like not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was at Sim, that was last year. Okay. Time. We had a makefile that was used to stand up the local dev environment because it was all Docker stuff, but it was all Python and a couple of Node.js components. So like running the makefile, there was a target for, you know, doing all the npm dance and all the Python, what is it? It's not yarn, pip, pyenv, that
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of. Well, we used ASDF to get all the right versions of Python in there and then build the containers. And then from there you could like push a container up to Docker Hub and all that, but that was all built into the makefile. And then like there's like this series of Docker Compose stuff to run because it had the API and the database and a message queue like every application does. And then I don't remember where all that got deployed. I think there was a Kubernetes in there somewhere. There's probably a Kubernetes somewhere, anywhere. Kubernetes is the cluster in the closet now, right? You just have like 2 or 3 of them running.
That's what EKS is for, right?
Oof.
And what you
Shiver.
call it, that cloud, the elastic cloud, that AWS thing.
Yes, ECS, Elastic
Right.
Container Service, which is sort of like a EKS. I don't know.
EKS is the Kubernetes one,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, the other
Yes.
one is the one that's like this monstrosity of a virtual machine that sort of kind of does containers, but
Yeah.
doesn't. And
And then there's like the ECR, the container registry.
Yes.
That is connected to the thing, connected to the thigh bone, connected to the knee bone, connected
Yes.
to the ankle bone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And somehow your ankle bone is connected to your hip bone because you're sitting, you know, cross-legged or something. I don't know.
Yeah, your ankle bone's connected to your shoulder bone, because
Yes.
I'm not even going to get into that.
No.
Although, oh, I forgot what I was going to say. There was something. It was really cool thing is running the new. I'm totally spacing on what the name of the instances are, but the ARM instances in AWS. They are super cool, by the way. If you haven't had a chance to play with them, they are really, really nice and really fast and a little bit more expensive than your regular T2 kind of things. I don't think they have a free tier, but
I don't think I have access to our AWS account.
well, you probably shouldn't at this point in time.
No, probably not.
we've invested pretty heavily in them. When you get into the full size instances, they are pretty fast.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird. There's some things that like don't quite compare just because like their IO is a little bit quicker, but it's for other reasons, and it's kind of interesting. Certain operations are faster and certain operations are slower, but they're cheaper overall for what you get.
Totally. Yeah. From a like cost performance perspective, for most things,
exactly.
they're like, as long as your stuff will run on it. That being the key.
Mhm.
So I say personally, as myself and representing nothing else, everybody port everything to ARM.
The ARM, yeah.
Which, I mean, I honestly, like, I do actually think that if you can, you should port your stuff to ARM.
I mean, Matt Ray has been porting everything to ARM for like 12 years, right?
He had the right idea. He was early, like way back in the thing. And that one, gosh, Ryan, you probably remember this, that one prototype system that we got at Chef for ARM before that was a thing, really, for that one particular company that ended up not using it because of the Qualcomm merger disaster thing that happened. Yeah,
I only knew about that peripherally. I'm sure
Yeah.
that hardware is still in Seth's basement,
Oh,
along with the switches.
No. That hardware got installed in the data center and everything. So it's probably still there.
But that doesn't mean it's not in Seth's basement now.
That's fair. That is very fair. That is.
There was a whole company acquisition that happened there. Who knows what happened to that data center?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care.
Yeah, I have no idea. All that conversation is a cry party, not a happy party.
Yeah. I wish them all the best of
yes
That
experiences.
was actually what I was working on before I went over to Chef, was running it on ARM and compiling versions and stuff like that. It was an interesting experience.
Yeah, the last time I really did any sort of like weird architecture compilation was I built a product cross-compiled for VxWorks, like back in 1999, early 2000, somewhere around there.
I was going to say that's like really old.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Super old. Like not just like AIX old, but like not existent anymore type of old. Yeah, it was a cross-platform backup, Unix backup software, and there was a customer that wanted to run it on VxWorks. I don't even remember what VxWorks does. I think it's like a real-time OS of some sort.
I think that sounds about right.
That's about the extent of my memory on that one. That was my first out of college job, was running that stuff.
Enjoy. Here's a fire to jump in.
Yeah. Well, it was so like I ran the build lab, which was, one HPUX machine, one AIX machine, one of every breed of OS that the software was built on. There was a SCO machine. Actually, when I started, there's like 4 SCO machines because the internal company infrastructure was running on SCO because that's what the founder had built everything on. But then we moved everything over to Linux when I was there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, entertainingly, there is an acquaintance of mine who might be able to hook me up with an AS6000 machine. So I'm looking into
AS6000 or RS6000?
RS6000, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah. RS6000. Sorry.
Yeah.
I get the AS400,
Yeah.
RS6000, like.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, an AS400 would also be pretty cool, but it'll also be very large and it'll take up like that entire corner in your.
Yeah. Although he has one, so like, yeah, I'm like, cool.
Yeah, it would not be cool. It would be very warm.
It would be very warm. Yeah. My understanding is though he has like a room in his like garage or a separate room for that.
Yeah, that's what basements are for.
I'm gonna have to drop here in a minute.
Yeah, we're about at time anyway.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining, Ryan. It was good to see you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. It was, so we do this every week. on Wednesday at this time. And then also starting January 14th, I'm doing a HangOps happy hour at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So that's that Friday afternoon vibe kind of thing. Grab a tasty soda or something stronger, and we'll hang out then too. And that'll be every 2 weeks, starting January 14th.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good to see you
cool.
all.
Yeah. I'll
Good to see you.
all
Good to
again.
chat.
See y'all next
Good.
time.
Yeah. Next time.
Take care.